My friends, good morning. We're here with a lot of information about Flamengo for you, and I'm impressed with what everyone is saying about Flamengo. It seems that moment of joking around, of wanting to make fun of a runner-up finish on penalties at the Club World Cup is over, and now everyone is falling. In reality, Flamengo really has been doing something scary in Brazilian and South American football, to the point where Flamengo wants to think about it, right? Looking for a possibility to have a branch, a club in Europe, right? As they've thought about before, now they can calmly, with research and everything, pursue it again. That is, we know that the sky's the limit. But it would be interesting. It would be interesting, right? Flamengo is choosing to see this possibility. Can you picture Flamengo in the Champions League? It would be spectacular. And I think that's what Flamengo does, right? And I'll say more, pay attention to what I'm saying right now. Because Flamengo's path doesn't necessarily have to be buying a club. Flamengo's path could be becoming a group. Flamengo, there's no city group. Flamengo creates the Flamengo group where it can have a team. Flamengo is not going to sell itself to a group. Flamengo creates a group, and what I'm saying is extremely viable. For a multi-billion-dollar club, Flamengo is starting to become a billionaire. And that's Savu, the highest ones. Can you imagine if Flamengo group, and wherever Flamengo takes over, Flamengo really takes over? Ikoto, the SAF of other clubs, for example, a club in the Major League Soccer, a club in Mexico, a club in Europe, a club in Asia. But there could be an investor, not to take over Flamengo, but to take care of this group. Where Flamengo's main club, Flamengo Soccer, it wouldn't belong to this group. Flamengo would be one of the managers of this group. It's different. Flamengo doesn't become an SAF. Flamengo manages a group where through this management, it will be competing in other tournaments around the world. Now, we still need to know if this could be dangerous in this case. Since Flamengo competes a lot, the Club World Cup is already guaranteed for 2029. And recently there was the issue of not being able to have two clubs with the same owner competing in the Club World Cup. That's something to think about. That's something to think about, right? So what if Flamengo gets to the point of taking over a group that will control some clubs? It has to be established at the moment of creation that in cases of competitions where both teams are involved, the priority goes to the Brazilian team. It's Flamengo's, but it's huge to think about all of this. Flamengo is creating a Flamengo group, and Flamengo is managing, it's Flamengo managing these clubs. I imagine what Flamengo could do, right? You can take it and you can't. You have huge revenues. You can trade players, man. It's a really big possibility. It's not the same as someone with a group buying in to turn your club into a SAF. Not Flamengo, not Flamengo. Everything stays the same. He's just making a different investment. That's spectacular. Well, guys, our video begins. Red Black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro-Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below. Turn on notifications, the little bell, and leave that awesome like on the video. We're here thanks to PIX The Million Benefits Club, PIX The Million. You can get products, experiences, and on top of that, you have a chance to win lots of prizes. There are instant prizes of up to 100,000 Rs. If you scratch and win, the prize goes straight to your account, and on the 31st, there's the New Year's Eve prize. There are 3 prizes of 1 million Rs, and besides that, a prize of 2 million on January 2nd. Also, I want to remind you I won, but play responsibly. It's for those 18 plus for fun, not investment. There you go. And we're here, and I've already won. You've already won. That's right. We've been bringing really interesting odds every day. Always reminding you, man, just the bread money. So the Brasileirão is already over. The Libertadores is over. The Club World Cup is over. There hasn't been much for us to follow and all, but there's still the final of the Copa do Brasil. We'll still have the final of the Copa do Brasil to bring you more tips and other competitions. So stay tuned because we can still place that little bit. And the link is always there in the bio highlight and stories on our Instagram. Also remember that all our other sponsors are there in the pinned comment and in the description. You can lose weight in a healthy way with more hair, with a slimmer program. I lost 74 kilos. You can lose weight too in a healthy way without hair loss. Well, let's go. I'm going to come here then, bringing important information. I just want, along the lines of what I was saying about Flamengo, even looking for alternatives to excite the fans. Because can you imagine if Flamengo manages to do what people think Flamengo is going to do? A lot of people are already worried that Flamengo is going to turn the Brasileirão and South America into a Bundesliga where Flamengo could be like Bayern, winning 9 out of 10 competitions. That's it. Then it might lose its appeal. The championship could lose its excitement. And then Flamengo fans might want something new, like seeing a club managed by Flamengo playing in the Champions League. That's why I'm mentioning all this, the possibility for you, man, to aim higher, And Baldasso, I'm responding to Baldasso's video. Fabiano Baldasso, international fan, journalist, and influencer from the South. Look at what he said. Here, look, issues.
Flamengo is one of the 10 biggest soccer clubs in the world. Put it on the table with Bayern, Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and those guys over there. That's good for Brazilian soccer because we have one of the biggest soccer clubs in the world. Here, it changes the Europeans' view of Brazil. Flamengo made Brazil rise to a higher level in world soccer. Flamengo got there. Ladies and gentlemen, Flamengo is now one of the biggest clubs.
Fabiano Baldasso is cool. To say that Flamengo changed the level of Brazilian soccer in world soccer. Flamengo put Flamengo on a higher level. And we had Luis Enrique, the coach of Paris Saint-Germain, talking about the differences between Botafogo and Flamengo and praising Flamengo. Look, against Botafogo, that's what teams do. When they play against us, they defend deep. And that's normal because usually we're in a better technical condition than our opponents against Flamengo. Was Botafogo the only team that played? What do teams do when they play against us? They defend themselves, and that's normal because usually we're in a better technical condition than our opponents. So he already put Botafogo on that level, even though they beat those teams that play defensively. Playing for a single chance against Paris Saint-Germain, against Flamengo, quote him. It's a top club in Brazilian football that plays the same way we do, looking for the ball, no matter the defense. And I think it's one of the best teams we've played against. Luis Enrique from Paris Saint-Germain has lost few games there in the last seasons, which shocked the world, which thrashed Inter in the Champions League final. Luis Enrique saying that Flamengo is the team that played best against Paris Saint-Germain. That's emblematic, man. That's emblematic. Yeah, we see Flamengo competing and competing and competing for important titles. Flamengo even posted about it, right? And then I want to tell you, you're jealous, aren't you? You're a fan. I'm going to act like Rafael Sobres now. You're jealous, aren't you? Because look at this. You see this? Is Flamengo already qualified? The 2029 Club World Cup has been confirmed, and Flamengo will take part in another World Cup. Flamengo posted about the 2029 Club World Cup on their social media. We are qualified. Flamengo is qualified for the next World Cup. There's also not a single rival fan who isn't jealous of Flamengo. Here in South America, Flamengo is the first South American team to qualify for the Club World Cup for the second consecutive year. So everyone is jealous. When they make fun of Flamengo for losing a title, when they win all the other possible ones, Flamengo wins practically every possible title in the year and loses one. The guys are making fun. I even saw a picture of a Flamengo fan with a bunch of trophies in his backpack. And all the fans are dirty, the rival teams, all dirty, torn, laughing, because Flamengo is carrying a bunch of trophies on his back. The guys, they have no idea how embarrassed they look, and Flamengo is there already guaranteed in the Club World Cup with an insane prize. I heard that the prize for this first Club World Cup was much smaller than what the next one will be. The next one will feature a surge in prize money. Absurd amounts because this first one was still something new. They didn't know it would get the audience it did, and they didn't have that much time to go after sponsors. Now, with this World Cup and this success it was, very strong sponsors will come, funds, huge companies, and so on, and the amount will be much higher. Just so you guys have an idea, man, it's going to be something like this. It's unbelievable what Flamengo and each participating club will get. And if they advance to the next stage, then even more. That's it, guys. So I have one more piece of information to share with you, Eric Pulgar. He considers what Flamengo achieved that year so important that he got the tattoos. Look at that. Eric Pulgar tattooed the trophies he won, right? Libertadores, Brasileiro, Derby of the Americas. Yeah, he was even there trying to tone it down. Yeah. Trying to ease the pain a little bit there, right? He's joking around, bringing the guys together. He put it on, man. He put AeroFla. Look how cool Pulgar put AeroFla on his leg. It's Super Cup, Derby of the Americas, Challenger Cup, Carioca, Brasileirão, and Libertadores. He put everything Flamengo has won there. He put 2025 there. Okay, he put the year 2025 and put AeroFla there on his leg. Man, spectacular, right? We're happy to see that. He put Flamengo's crest on his leg. I mean, Eric Pulgar. If he goes to play for another club in Brazil, they'll have to put up with Flamengo's crest on his leg and all the titles he won in this historic season, right? He made his mark by tattooing Flamengo's crest. This guy, let me tell you, Eric Pulgar, even some fans are joking about him. We know it's artificial intelligence, but I think it's important to show you here. It's artificial intelligence. Okay, guys, but it's intelligence. Who would get this tattoo? Comment here. Would you get a tattoo like this of Pulgar tackling the Palmeiras player? There. Be careful. They're about to cry. They always complain. I'd rather get the tattoo that even a friend of ours from the Rat Gang got. The shirt, yeah. It turned out really cool, man. He got the R shirt. Did you guys know about that? Andres Pereira liked the Paris Saint-Germain post with Safonov. Okay. He's just funny. His agent sent a little message right when Paris Saint-Germain scored. For me, that's it, because he says that Flamengo is the one thinking about him and he's not thinking about Flamengo. Oh, you don't think about it, right? Okay, you're such a good guy, aren't you? Andres, look at this one. This one. I feel like doing this one. I'm just not going to get this tattoo. I'm just not going to get the tattoo because I don't want to have Andres tattooed on my body, right? But man, this one deserved it, huh? That one deserved it. Really awesome shirt from the guys. From the Red Black Rats. Yeah, let's go. I'm here with a different situation to tell you guys here that Flamengo fans, okay, don't need to worry, all right? You don't need to worry, right? I see a lot of people talking about the Felipe Luis situation. GE made a bet. With his future uncertain, Felipe Luis reaches a milestone at Flamengo that hadn't happened in 14 years. The club hadn't had a coach start and finish the season since 2011. But I see a lot of people saying, well, oh, Felipe Luis still hasn't renewed. Oh, Felipe Luis, we're going to end up losing Felipe Luis. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Relax, relax. The work is being done. Yeah, he wants to stay one more year, okay? Huh? But we have a trauma from Jorge Jesus, but he's going to stay. He's going to stay. I really believe in this possibility of Felipe Luis staying 1 or 2 more years at Flamengo. I think it's important for us to secure Felipe Luis for a little longer, especially because he has proven to be a great coach, an amazing guy. Look, Toni Kroos was surprised by Paris Saint-Germain and Flamengo, and his statement, he's a Real Madrid idol, former midfielder, his statement was amazing. He gave an interview to Romario Television and said, "It surprises me a little, but it means that Brazilian football, or at least the best teams in Brazil, can compete well." Paris Saint-Germain, without any doubt, was the best team in Europe last season. Now, less so, as they have key injuries, but that means Brazilian soccer is doing well and that the best teams in Brazil can compete with those in Europe. Yes, it is. The performance was also praised by a lot of people. So, man, Flamengo came out of this whole story looking really good, really well regarded. It was important for us to have Flamengo there, arriving, playing the way they played, coming into the Club World Cup with a lot of confidence, going to penalties, man. They had every chance to win it. The truth is, we lost that final by a small detail, right? Huh? The guy had inside information about Flamengo's penalties. If you look at it, everything that happened was studied, right? Everything was set up perfectly for him on the towel right there. It was more than that. This final was determined by information, not soccer. And Flamengo did shock the world, yes. Chisinho also sent a message to Flamengo fans after their Club World Cup runner-up finish. Is that what you mean? I believe Flamengo fans should be very proud. And also Felipe Luis. Obviously, it's bad to lose a Club World Cup, but the feeling that remains is that Felipe did exactly what he's used to doing. He never tried to reinvent Flamengo at any moment. He thought about taking the match to penalties. He thought about winning, about trying to solve it right there. It didn't work out. I think there was a bit of a lack of focus. Flamengo, congrats on matching Paris Saint-Germain. Something to celebrate. You'll be the team to beat in 2026. Cicinho right there. Man, speaking with a slur. Spectacular. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Joyful greetings from Flamengo. Thanks, everyone. Big hug. I'm out.